First, I want to thank all of you for the opportunity to just do this, because this is the first time for me, and it is in English. It is not in my mother tongue, so it's very unusual and difficult for me, but I will accept the challenge and I will try to do my best. So, Vanchakal Patalubhyascha Kipasindubhyavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pishtaya Bhutale Shimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Tinamine Namaste Sarasvate Devi Gulavani Prachaline Nirvishesha Shunavadi Paschali Shataline. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama. So I want to talk about the importance of healing and chanting. It's my point of view. There is a lot of way of explaining that, but I want to explain it in my point of view. So why should we hear and chant the holy name? First of all, our spiritual journey begins with hearing. Without hearing, how to have faith? When I first came to Krishna consciousness, it was because I heard the mantra from the lips of devotees of the Lord. So my spiritual journey began with hearing. Hearing is very important. Even in the material world, if you want to succeed to learn a new competence, you have to hear very active. So hearing is the same for the spiritual knowledge. We have to hear to develop faith and attraction for Krishna. So I quote a verse. It is in the Madhya 23, 14 and 15. It is said that in the beginning there must be faith, and one becomes interested in associating with pure devotee. Thereafter, one is initiated by spiritual master and execute the regulative principle under his order. Thus, one is freed from all unwanted habits and become firmly fixed in devotional service. Thereafter, one develops taste and attachment. This is the way of sadhana bhakti, the execution of devotional service according to the regulative principle. Gradually, emotion intensify, and finally, there is an awakening of love. This is the gradual development of love of Godhead for the devotee interested in Krishna consciousness. So we see in this verse that in the beginning, they must have faith. So faith without hearing is like very difficult to have. So why should we hear from ancient holy name? So by hearing about the pastime and activities Shri Krishna Bhagavan, we become attracted more and more, but this faith must become fixed up in order to progress in Krishna consciousness. In this regard, I want to quote this beautiful verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. It explains us how to increase faith, because we have to get attracted more and more and to become fixed up in our faith. So in Srimad Bhagavatam 3:25-25, in association of pure devotees, discussion of pastime and activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very pleasing and satisfying to the ear and the heart. By cultivating such knowledge, one gradually becomes advanced on the path of liberation, and thereafter he is freed and his attraction becomes fixed. Then real devotion and devotional service begin. We see here one important thing. In association of pure devotee, discussion of the pastime and activity of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very pleasing and satisfying to the ear and the heart. So when we associate with devotee, actually we do some Krishna Katha, and it's very satisfying to the ear and the heart. We can experience this when we do the group discussion. We were talking and completely absorbed in the hearing of the Krishna Katha, and our mind become controlled, but actually it purified our heart too. So yes, by hearing we can purify our heart, and we can also control the mind, this restless mind, and gradually become advanced on the path of liberation. And after, our mind becomes fixed also. So the more we get attracted by Krishna, the more our mind becomes freed from material attachment and fixed up in devotional service. Should we hear from non-devotee or offender? Why I ask this question? Because sometimes when I preach, people ask me, but Prabhu, I'm in ISKCON, and can I hear from this Prabhu in ISKCON? Can I hear from him? And the answer is no, because in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi 8:39, in the purport, Srila Sanatana Goswami quote a beautiful verse: one should not hear anything about Krishna from a non-Vaishnava. Milk touched by the lips of a serpent has poisonous effect. Similarly, talks about Krishna given by non non-Vaishnava are also poisonous. So when we hear about those Swami or so-called Guru in ISKCON, then yes, he will contaminate our mind. So we should not hear from non-Vaishnava and non-devotee and offender, because like this verse said, the milk touched by the lips of the serpent has poisonant effect. If someone is contaminated, we shouldn't hear Krishna Katha from him. It is very recommended to be in the bona fide association of devotee and to hear from the lips of pure devotees. We should hear from authority, and the authorities are Sadhu, Shastra, and Guru. Sadhu, Shastra, and Guru. So this is authorities, and this is the source that we need to hear from. One has to test all spiritual matters according to the instruction of saintly person, scriptures, and the spiritual master. The spiritual master is one who follow the instruction of his predecessor. So it's very important. Spiritual master is not blindly lead you. He follow the instruction of the predecessor acharya. So namely the sadhus, or saintly person. Bonafide spiritual master does not mention anything not mentioned in the authorized scripture in the Shastra. So I can compare it to when I was in ISKCON and I hear from those Swami who just present something. They will not quote from Shastra. So now we can see that this is not bona fide. A bona fide spiritual master does not mention anything not mentioned in the authorized scripture. So ordinary people have to follow the instruction of Sadhu, Shastra, and Guru. Those statements made in the Shastra and those made by the bona fide Sadhu or Guru cannot differ from one another. So it's very, very important for us to hear from Sadhu, Shastra, and Guru and take shelter of pure devotee, and our pure devotee is Srila Prabhupada. So we have to associate with him, read his book as much as possible, and hear from the bona fide devotee. And the bona fide devotee is in ISKCON because we follow the teaching strictly and rigidly, the teaching of Srila Prabhupada, and also the Ridvik initiation. This is his last order, and we follow that. So now I am in this situation when I joined ISKCON because I understand that ISKCON, they were deviating. I cannot get the proper hearing, I cannot get the proper knowledge if I was offending Prabhupada. So now, then I am in a proper bona fide association of devotee. I can have the pure knowledge because you all follow the pure spiritual master who is Prabhupada. So for the next, I want to talk about chanting also. So in this age of Kali, what is recommend? So there is a very nice verse, very known verse in the Adi 17:21. So this is in this age of Kali, there is no other means for self-realization than chanting the holy name, chanting the holy name of Lord Hari. So when it is said that when it is repeated 3 times, when a meaning is repeated 3 times, it is really, really important. So there is no other means to chant the holy name of Lord Hari. And we can all experiencing that in our sadhana, in our spiritual activities on a daily basis. When we chant the holy name, our mind becomes much more peaceful and much more, it cooperates much more. So we can see by experience that if we chant the holy name of the Lord, this is the only way in this Kali Yuga. So there is another verse too, and this is from the Shishastakam, and this is the first verse of the Shishastakam. Chetudalpanam aljanam, Vavamahadavagni nilvapanam, Chayakailava chendrika vitalanam, Vijabadu jivanam, Anandabudi valdanam, Platipadam punam litasvadanam, Savatmasnapanam palam vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. So the translation, let there be all victory for the chanting of the holy name of Lord Krishna, which can cleanse the mirror of the heart and stop the misery of blazing fire of material existence. That chanting is the waxing moon that spread the white lotus of good fortune for all living entities. It is the life and soul of all education. The chanting of the holy name of Krishna expands the blissful ocean of transcendental life. It gives a cooling effect to everyone and enables one to taste full nectar at every step. So it explained very beautifully there the effect of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, that Lord, that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself came to give and to spread all over the world. So I want to elaborate more in that. The religious practice for the age of Kali is to broadcast the glories of the holy name. Only for this purpose as the Lord in yellow color descend as Lord Chaitanya. So broadcast the glories of the holy name. We see that our beloved Srila Prabhupada, at the age of 70, he goes to America, and what he did there, he just for the beginning of his preaching, he just go to a park and just begin to chant. He just do that for many hours, and when he chant, a lot of soul came and joined him. They dance and they chant with. So what he show us that now, he show us that we need to preach Krishna consciousness and broadcast the glories of the holy name all around the world. In this age of Kali, the practical system of religion for everyone is the chanting of the name of Godhead. This was introduced in this age by Lord Chaitanya. Bhakti Yoga actually begins with the chanting of the holy name, as confirmed by Madhavacharya in this commentary on Mundaka Upanishad. He quotes this verse from Narayan Samhita. In the Dwapara Yuga, people should worship Lord Vishnu only by the regulative principle on the Nalada Panchalatra and other such authorized book. In the age of Kali, however, people should simply chant the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Hare Krishna mantra is specifically mentioned in many Upanishads, such as the Kali Santala Upanishad, where it is said, after searching through all the Vedic literatures, one cannot find a method of religion more sublime for this age than the chanting of Hare Krishna. So we can see that even in the Shastra, they all advise us there is no other way, no other method more sublime for this age than to chant the Hare Krishna mantra. So Lord Chaitanya came to give us this wonderful opportunity to chant this holy name who will free us from material contamination and will attach us to the lotus feet of Shri Krishna Bhagavan. So for this conclusion, I want to read because it's very important, and then I will elaborate a little about that. After one's mind becomes cleansed by chanting Hare Krishna, one gradually comes to the platform of Krishna consciousness, and then read books like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and the Nectar of Devotion. In this way, one becomes more and more purified of material contamination. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 1-18, by regularly hearing the Bhagavatam and rendering service into pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is practically destroyed, and loving service into the glorious Lord, who is praised with transcendental sound, is established as an irrevocable fact. In this way, simply by hearing of the powerful activities of the Lord, the devotee's heart becomes at most completely cleansed of material contamination, and thus his original position as an eternal servant who is part and parcel of the Lord becomes manifest. It's very important. While the devotee engaged in the devotional service, the passionate and ignorant modes of material nature are gradually vanquished, and then he acts only in the mode of goodness. At that time, he becomes happy and gradually advances in Krishna consciousness. So, by regularly hearing from Bhagavatam and rendering service to the pure devotee, we can actually be in the mode of goodness, and from the mode of goodness, we can access to the pure goodness. This is simply by hearing of the powerful activities of the Lord. Like this, our heart will become completely cleansed from material contamination. So all the great acharyas strongly recommend that people be given a chance to hear about the Supreme Lord. Then success is assured. The more we cleanse the dirt of material attachment from our hearts, the more we will be attracted by Krishna's name, form, quality, paraphernalia, and activities. This is the sum and substance of Krishna consciousness movement. So tell us now that yes, success is assured if we take this process. The great acharyas, they tell us that success is assured. Some devotee, it will take some time. Some devotee, yes, they will be very serious at the beginning, so they will advance very quick. But some will take some time. But success is assured if we follow the method prescribed by the previous acharya and by the acharya of this age, Srila Prabhupada. So we should have hope. We should never give up. We should have hope and always associating in bona fide association of of devotee, and then hearing and chanting always regularly so that we can have success in our life to get attracted to the lotus feet of Shri Krishna. So for the end, we see that hearing and chanting is a must if we want to progress in Krishna consciousness and have a chance to remember the Lord at the time of death. I want to talk about that. When I came to Krishna consciousness, I read Bhagavad Gita. The first thing that has struck my mind is that I am not the body, I'm the soul. So I'm a spiritual soul. The soul is eternal, Satchit Ananda, full of bliss, full of knowledge, and eternal. So actually, the soul will not die, but this body will die. If we want to die and go to the spiritual world, it is said that we have to have our mind absorbed and think of Krishna and remember Krishna. How to remember Krishna if we haven't heard properly, haven't chanted properly his name? How can we have a chance to just at the last exam, at the last stage of our life? This is the test. Prabhupada said that this is the test. How can someone see if we have faith? Just the last stage when we will face death. At that stage, we cannot cheat. We cannot ask for any help. The help will be given by Shri Krishna or Srila Prabhupada. It is only by his mercy, by their mercy, by their grace that we will remember. And at that time, if we practice enough, Prabhupada said we have to practice. So if we practice enough, like I said, as Srila Prabhupada said, that we have to practice in a regular basis in association of bona fide devotee, and our life will be successful. So in this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, our only hope is to surrender completely at the lotus feet of Shri Hari. So I just want to add something. Since I came to Krishna consciousness, I was totally different. I was a very shy person, and now I do presentation for Vaishnav, for very sincere devotee and people who take this very serious. I want to thank all of you and I am very grateful to Srila Prabhupada that saved my life and soul. So I want to thank him and just chant the holy name of the Lord very loudly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you very much. All glory Srila Prabhupada.
Hari Bol. Wow, it was very nice, Prabhu. That's wonderful presentation.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. All glory Srila Prabhupada.